Today, I'm going to be demonstrating to you on the indoor trainer using Training Peaks Virtual, possibly the best way to boost your Vo2 Max. This is according to the research using a tabata on-off style interval session, which of course you can do out on the road as well. Now for context, one of the RCA's coaches, Ben Treble, recently went to Switzerland to obtain his level 3 UCI coaching accreditation, and while he was there, an extremely well-regarded cycling researcher by the name of Ronistar presented, and he indicated from all the research that he's done over the years that the 30-15 Tabata protocol is probably the best interval session you can do to boost your Vo2 Max. Now, that's not to say that you put a line through all other Vo2 Max training sessions, but if you had to pick just one, this one would be at the top of the tree. But here's the thing, a lot of people get this workout wrong. So today I'm going to give you a practical blueprint on how to get it right and why at the RCA we believe this is possibly the most simple way to boost your Vo2 Max. Simple in the context that 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, repeated. From what we've seen at the RCA is a lot more doable and practical for recreational and amateur road cyclists that haven't done a lot of Vo2 Max training before, because the alternative is often the sustained Vo2 Max efforts, which do require a lot of practice and conditioning in order to get right. So in this video today, you should walk away with three things. Number one, how to execute the 30-15 efforts, which is where a lot of people go wrong. Number two, what should be your target sets and reps and how to progress from 0 to hero. And three, when you should be doing them and how often. So number one, let's talk about the 30-15 effort execution. But before anything, please always start with a good warm up. On the trainer, I always like to recommend a good 10 to 15 minute warm up, including some activation efforts, which you can see me doing here. This is after 10 minutes of a low zone 2 spin. I'm doing a 3-minute ramp from below threshold to over threshold. This is before coming back to a recovery spin for a few minutes before the first set. For reference, my current FTP is circa 340 watts. Now, where most people get this workout wrong is the 30-second on period. People are just not going hard enough. Why? Well, according to the research, linked below, to elicit optimal Vo2 Max gains, you want to be doing this 30-second effort at your maximal Vo2 Max output and coming back to roughly 50% of that output in the 15-second off period, which is another area a lot of people get wrong, because I'll come back to, in that 15-second off period, a really easy spin, which goes against the research. So the big question you've got to ask yourself is, what is my maximal effort for the 30-second on in the 30-15 protocol? Assuming you're not going to go into a lab and jump on a ventilator, here are three simple options for you. Number one, go to Strava or your training software. We use Training Peaks at the RCA, and check out your power curve at 5 minutes for the year. What's your power personal best for 5 minutes? Mine is 450 watts here, so that should be your target number. Number two, if you're not confident in that target number, or you've lost a fair bit of fitness recently, or you don't feel you've done a 5-minute all-out effort this year or in recent times, find a local Strava segment that's 5 minutes in length and go all out and see what you can do. Number three, if you're not able or willing to do option two, most of you will know what your FTP is. Take somewhere between 120 to 130% of that number, which tends to be where most people's maximal Vo2 Max power sits. With a massive caveat, let's ensure your FTP is not overinflated. So for me, my best 5-minute in 2025 is 450 watts. I've dropped some fitness recently. I've been training to structure for a long period of time. I've got some wisdom around my training capabilities. So I know in myself that probably around 425 is what I'm capable of doing right now. So that's the number I selected. Roughly 50% of that number for the off 15-second period is 215 watts, which for me is in my zone 2 power, not my zone 1 recovery spin, which is what I said before, where a lot of people operate in that 15-second period. So the second thing I wanted to discuss here is target sets and reps and how to progress from 0 to hero. So as a general blanket rule, looking at the research, often it's 3 sets of somewhere between 10 to 13 reps. So we believe at the RCA, a good target for this workout is 3 sets of 12 reps of 30-15s at your maximal VO2 max power, with roughly a 3 to 5 minute rest between sets depending on your fitness level and time availability. So if that is a good target state and you want to start getting into these intervals, where would you actually begin? Well, this is my personal view, and keep in mind that every coach may have a different philosophy on this. But I would personally start conservative with the 30-second power, not maximal. Start with perhaps 90 to 95% of your VO2 max power, or circa 120% of your FTP. Then you can focus on good form and aim for 6 to 9 reps initially. As according to the research, you want to be around that 9 repetition range to achieve that VO2 max state within the set. However, if you're failing at 6 or 7 and this is your first go at it, you'd much rather stop there, get through the workout, not injure yourself, and then reset from there. Perhaps that maximal 5-minute power that you had estimated was a little bit too high. You may need to bring it back and start again. But ultimately, we want to build confidence. We want to get through these sets. So you're better off going conservative initially as you're getting into it versus going too hard. Additionally, take a good 5-minute zone 1 spin around 40 to 50% of your FTP between each set. If you need more time as you're just learning the workout, assuming you've got time availability, take an extra minute, 2 or 3. Make it an 8-minute recovery if you need to. We just want to ensure that we're fully recovered and ready for the next set. Now, from there, assuming that you're getting stronger, you're building confidence in the workout and you're ready, you can gradually increase the power. So you're slowly stepping towards that maximal state after a few goes at this workout. Once you've hit that maximal power level, from there you could look to increase the reps from say 9 to 10 to 11 and then to 12 over many weeks or even many months. And another lever is to reduce the recovery period, say from the 5-minute, or maybe you started it more, working towards a 3 to 4 minute recovery, where the 3 minutes tends to be the lowest level of recovery used between sets in the research. Now, with these levers or levers that you have, do not do them all in one hit. You do them one at a time, gradually over many weeks or months. Of course, and I just want to reiterate this point because it may seem like I'm contradicting myself, the end state is operating at a maximal VO2 max state or VO2 max power. However, if you're just getting started, you don't want to have that mentality. You want to build into it, you want to build form, you want to build confidence, and you want to be sure that you're ready for that particular level of workout. The third thing I wanted to talk about is when and how often you should be doing the 30-15s. As a general blanket, assuming you want optimal gains, there are 3 considerations here. Number 1, have you spent time building base fitness before? 2, have you spent any time working around threshold before, which would include high intensity interval training at sub-threshold and threshold? And number 3, do you have a reason to build top-end fitness right now? If the answer is yes to all those questions, then this is probably a good workout you could start incorporating once per week. Just keep in mind that this type of training, the beauty of it is it's very fast acting. You're going to see gains very quickly, particularly if you've spent a lot of time building that aerobic engine. However, it can be quite fatiguing. Hence, do you have a reason to build top-end fitness right now? If you do, you could essentially add this workout once per week during a 6 to 8 week block, slowly progressing the difficulty over a 6 to 8 week period, maybe even more if you've got the conditioning. And if done correctly, and assuming you're having an easier week thrown in there from time to time, this should be a way to make some pretty epic gains. If you got value from this video today, please don't forget to give the video a like, helps the channel out. And of course, if you're thinking about incorporating this type of training and you want some support, please check out the link below. You can either work with an RCA coach month to month on something like this, or one of our most popular services right now is our custom 12-week plan where you'll speak with a coach up front and then they'll build you out a custom 12-week plan according to your goals, your objectives, and your riding preferences. We'll catch you in the next video.